guys, it's Miss Julie, and I am here with Addison. She is going to help me make some special gifts for you guys to give to your moms or aunts or grandmas or just that special woman in your life. Because Mother's Day is Sunday, and so we thought it would be cool if we could help you guys make something to show your love and appreciation for these women. So we're going to be making a couple different crafts. And the first ones are going to be with your hands, and then I've got one that's for a little bit older kids. So we're going to do a flamingo, or a fish, or a I love you hug. So these are really fun, and Addie's going to help me do them. So to make all of this happen, you are going to need some paper. You can use white or colored, it doesn't matter. You're going to need some markers. And then you're going to need some scissors. So if you cannot use scissors by yourself, then you're going to make sure that you have a parent. And Addie wants me to point out the pin because I trace her hand with a pin. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is trace your hand. You can trace it yourself or have someone trace it for you. You can do one hand or both hands. The only craft that will need both of your hands is the hug. Should we do your other one?
Can I do it?
Yeah, you can do it. For the hug, you're going to need both of your hands. So once you're done tracing your hands, you're going to cut them out. They don't have to be perfect. Any of these crafts, they don't have to be perfect. It's just about doing something thoughtful for the special women in your life. So Addie's almost done tracing her hands, and then we will get to cutting. And when you get to your palm, just kind of make the U to connect it. Yep. Let's show them what you did. Okay, so Addie did those. So now she's going to work on cutting out some other hands that we traced earlier, because I need that paper for something else. So she's going to work on cutting out the hands that she traced earlier. And while she does that, I'm going to go ahead and get started on decorating the fish. So this fish is going to someone who likes blue and purple, which is why I chose those colors. I thought scales would be fun. So scales are just little U's, double U's, next to each other. And then I added the eye and the mouth. You can make your fish as unique as you want. Maybe your fish is polka dotted and striped. Or maybe your fish, you cut your fingers so that it's got a really flowy tail. You just make your fish as unique as you. And then if you want to take it a step farther, you could glue your fish onto the paper and draw some seaweed and coral and maybe some bubbles coming out of the fish's mouth. Ooh, you are doing a good job cutting, Addie. Okay, while she keeps cutting, I'm going to move on to the flamingo. This is the flamingo. I chose a flamingo for us because we really like flamingos. And so that's why I chose this. If you, it's okay, we'll tape it. If your hand tapes, you can either retrace it or tape it.
Retrace.
Okay, well, how about you just work on this one then? So, your flamingo, if you don't like flamingos, feel free to turn it into a swan or a blackbird or a bluebird. For the flamingo, you will just color it pink and then make the head, which I just cut out of paper, and it's just a little S shape. And then the legs, I just cut out straight pieces, and one leg gets glued on to the thumb, and I bend it because flamingos lay on one leg. And that's another one that you could glue onto the paper. Maybe you have his head coming up and have some water down below and some grass, or maybe you put two flamingos together.
All done.
Okay, do you want to start coloring them?
Mm-hmm.
You put two flamingos together and maybe draw a heart to represent you and that special woman.
But what do
like your mom.
draw?
You can decorate that. Do you want to do the fish?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you color that fish.
Where's the
Right
fish?
there. Okay, and then our last one is this one. It is our hug. Our hug. Okay, so this is the only one that you need two of your handprints for, because you're gonna hug whoever gets it. So for for this one, it's really important that you color the outsides of your hands. You want your thumbs to be lined up with this one. And so color the outsides of them, and then on one of them, write, I love you, ... And on this one, this much. And then what we're going to do, ooh, Addie, that fish is looking good. What we're going to do is take a piece of paper, and you want to make this piece of paper about as long as your arms. This is as long as Addie's arms. Will you stick your arms out? This is about as long as her arms when she opens up. But if you don't have paper that long or don't want to glue it, you could use string or rope. Good job, you can put them down. String or rope or whatever, and then you're gonna fold it accordion style. So that means you fold it one way, and then you fold it the other way. And then you fold it the other way, and then the other way. You wanna help me? Okay. This way, and then that way. There you go. And you just keep going until you reach the very end of your piece of paper. If you use string or rope, you don't have to do this. It'll just coil up inside of your hands. And then you squish it down really good so that it stays nice and tight. And then what we want to do is we're going to glue it onto our hands. So when you put your hands on the paper to glue, you're going to put your thumbs together and lay them straight down. Okay, and then we need our glue. Addie, do you want to be my gluer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're going to put some glue. Uh-oh. Our glue is not working. There we go. We're going to put some glue right on the palms of your papers. So just a little bit. Good job. Now do some over here. And then we're going to stick our accordion paper on the glue. Okay, so press that one down. And then press this side down. Oh, sorry. Press that side down. Okay, and then once it's glued down nice and good, then we fold it up. Uh-oh. This accordion paper goes a little crazy sometimes. But you fold it up, and then it just looks like a nice little hand until they open it, and it's like they get a hug from you, and they can wrap it around themselves. So this one's really great if you haven't been able to hug someone recently. Aw, I love you. They can get like a virtual paper hug from you, and they'll love it. Okay, so now those were the handprint crafts. You guys get as creative as you want. They don't have to be perfect. Just do it with love. Do you want to help me with the flower? Okay. Now we're going to do the flower. This one's a little bit harder. Addie's going to help me, but, you know, use your skill level as you can. So what you're going to need for this one is some paper. You can use colored or plain that you decorate. You need scissors, a ruler or a paper cutter, and glue. And then some optional items you might want are like pipe cleaners or straws or buttons. Those things are all things that you might want to use. Okay, so first you're going to want to cut out a circle. I colored mine brown just because I like brown insides of flowers. And then after you cut all of your strips of paper, or actually before you cut them, you need all of your strips of paper to be the same size. So I did really skinny ones. You can do fat ones or skinny ones, it doesn't matter. They just have to be the same size. So once you get those cut, then you are going to glue the ends together to make little loops like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Addie start doing that. Whoops. And it really is easiest if you start with all of them glued together. So just glue the ends together and then make a whole bunch of loops. The more loops you have, the fuller your flower will be. The less loops, the less full it'll be. I like full flowers, so I tend to do a lot of loops, but you can do as many or as few as you like.
I want to love.
Okay, so after you get your loops glued together, then you're going to take your loops and your circle and start gluing your loops onto your circle. Okay, you're gonna start gluing those on. Oh, it doesn't want to stay, does it? Our glue is kind of old, so it doesn't stick all the time. And then you just keep adding them and adding them until you are happy with how full your flower is. And then I'm going to show you how I did mine, because I kind of did a double-sided flower. And so once Addie gets this one glued on, then we'll show you how the double-sided one is.
It doesn't want to take.
It's stuck. Good job. Okay, so then our double-sided flower. If you don't do a double-sided flower, then you would just finish gluing them and it would end up looking like that. I did double-sided so because I colored my picture, and so different strips have different colors, and I wanted to be able to flip it. Okay, so now this is when those optional items came in. If you had a button or maybe, you know, like a special animal or something, you could go ahead and add that there. And then, yeah, with glue would work. And then the stem, and the double-sided works really well for the stem because you can just shove it in between the two circles. Otherwise, you just glue it to the back side of your first circle. But for the stem, you could use a straw or a pipe cleaner, or I just used some paper that I colored. So you just glue that down. Here, can you push it down? There's already glue in there. Hold on, hold on. Move your hand. Okay, push it down now. Push it down nice and good, and then you have you have a flower. And you can make many of these to make a nice little garden. But I hope that you guys have fun making these, and that the people who get them are excited, and that you just show those special women in your life how much you love them. Have a great week. Bye.